Hey guys, Lo-Fi here, back at it again with another review, this time on the Mafex Night Crusader Batman. This is 215. I've been really excited to make a review on this guy. I haven't posted in a while, I've been working, been pretty busy, and I was waiting for the Bane to come in, and he got delayed until July, so hoping he comes out soon so I can take some photos of these guys together. But other than that, this guy looks incredible. He takes great photos, and I love this look. It is probably one of the most iconic Batman looks that there has been over the years. Just the blue and gray with the yellow oval. This is probably one of the most iconic looks for Batman. With that being said, let's get right into the figure. Like I said, this is probably one of Batman's most iconic looks. He's always had this for a while. Like, this is like your Kelly Jones. This is your Neil Adams. That's what I kind of use this for. Like, not strictly just a Knightfall Batman. This is just my comic book Batman. This is just like, this is perfect. This is a dream scenario for Batman figures for me. Not that I don't mind the black and gray looks and all that, because that is also another great look for Batman. This is peak Batman for me. Not so much with the pointy shoulders, pointy cape, but there's something that can be done about that. He comes with extra accessories to where you don't have to worry about this if you're not into this. I think this looks really cool though, and I like the cape on this one, but it's not what screams out to me for Batman. And I'll give you guys like a closer just look right here. You'll see the boots. There's some little black wash, some shading within the figure on the boots, so it's not just a stark blue and gray. There's some dark shading in there, some black wash. And you guys can look from the boots. They have the same treads as the Hush Batman figure, if you can look at that real quick. And then looking up, you have the classic capsule belt that's very yellow. And then you get the trunks. And then you get this 90s style body right here. By that I mean like all the abs sculpted in. It doesn't look like the Hush. The Hush has a softer body, and I can show that off when I get into the size comparisons. And then when you look at the logo, mine has some like paint issues, some wear on it. Before I got it, you see at the edge of the symbol right here, and then up here and over here. And then you see that they tried to do a black trim around it, and that didn't exactly work out. It looks like they didn't paint that black trim, because you see that it's shaped there around the edge of the oval, that there's supposed to be like that black trim for the logo, but it's just not there. And then you get into the biceps. You see how big they are. I don't know if they're as big as the Hush. You see the forearm, and you see that this is different because you see the fins are spiky and very 90s-esque, very 1970s Batman. And then you get a good look at the cape that is wired, which is really cool. I love my wired capes. I've gotten really into the wired cape game. Since McFarlane started implementing in their figures, I'm going to probably buy more McFarlanes because I do like their figures. Sometimes, but the 7-inch scale doesn't do it for me. The wired capes are winning it for me, though. It feels like it adds a layer of quality, you know. And I'm just posing this around while I'm showing you guys, because I just really like playing with this guy. This guy's a really awesome figure. Let me do something like that. And this guy is super, super awesome. I love this figure so much. And let me give you a good look at that head sculpt. Just that stern Batman stoic head sculpt. He looks like angry. The face sculpt does remind me of the Hush figure, but different, similar but different, you know. And the ears are pointier. It looks like it's the same Batman, just maybe a little younger from a different point in time. He looks really good though. I really like this head sculpt. This is my favorite head sculpt out of this piece. And then you get to see more of the cape, and then you see all of his back muscles. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the accessories, and then I'll get into the articulation. There's a reason for that, because one of these pieces really lets me get into the articulation like in the freest way possible. So the first thing I'm going to show off is the hands. So scooch him back and I'll give you guys a good look at his hands. So we have some grippy hands, some like battering holding hands, and I love the little plastic Mafex tree pieces that they have for all of their figures now. And then you have more of a wire holding hand. This is also seen as a battering holding hand. These are like the same ones that the Hush figure got. And then he comes with some flight hands or some karate chopping hands. You could also say that they're swimming hands, and you could say that for one of the other head sculpts. And then you have some wide open hands, some like sprawled out like action hands. And these are really cool. And you see some of that that black wash, some of that black paint in there, and some of the hands because they look a little darker in the palms. And then you have more of the relaxed hands, or you can use them as like counter-attack hands. And then he also comes with this wired battering slash like grapple rope. Because back in the day, Batman didn't have a grapple gun. He just threw one of these at a building and just climbed up. And just hoped for the best. And the grippy hands do hold this battering piece really well. Because it's wide enough to fit in and it'll just plug right in and stay in. I like to use that in combination with the wire holding hands because this wire is pretty thin. And that's really cool. And I took some really nice photos with this, being able to bend it and sprawl it out because it is complete bendy wire. And it's really cool. And it's decently long enough to be able to like get him into some really cool like swinging from rooftops poses, you know? Excuse me. And he also comes with this cool Kelly Jones head sculpt. This like really super long pointed ears Batman. And it reminds me of the Kings of Fear storyline, one of the more recent ones. Or if you look at like the Vampire Batman comic books, his ears are super long. Or even the covers of Knightfall where they use Kelly Jones arts for that. And it looks really sick. It's not my favorite head sculpt though. But it looks really cool, especially when you put it on with the pointed cape, and it looks super sick, super imposing. And then you can get some of this going. You can get some super dynamic cape stuff and just mess around with it, you know? And it's really, really cool. Really makes me like and appreciate the figure a lot. Pop that back on. And then he also comes with this scuba head. Comes with a little rebreather, so when he's jumping in and saving people, swimming and all that. You can also use this as like a gas mask too. And I think that looks really, really cool. Really like this head sculpt a lot. And then finally he comes with an extra cape, which I didn't think he was going to come with. I think that's super sick. It doesn't have the points on it. And what you can do to pop that out is you just untab this top piece. And you also have two tabs on the back, and it just pops right out. And just put that off to the side, and then I'll just plug this right back in. Tab that in. And then let me put this head on. That looks really cool. And what you have to do with this figure, which is a bit unfortunate, is that you have to kind of line it up with the top of the cape, or else it just kind of looks funky when posing. It looks really cool. And then when you put the other head sculpt back on, it looks much, much better. You get that more iconic blue and gray look with the with no points on it. It looks really cool. You get like your world's finest on with this one. This looks really good. And then he also does actually come with a third like cowl piece, cape / cowl piece. And then what you do is you pop that off again, and then you pop this on, and it's a capeless cowl piece. And I think this goes more with the swimming head. But you can also use this as like a Neil Adams versus Ra's al Ghul in the desert type look, like a capeless look. And it's really good that they come with this, so I can show off more of the articulation that way. So first off, his head sculpt looks all the way up. Make sure you don't pop that out. Looks up about that far. Looks down about this far, which isn't too bad. And you got that rotation, that head swivel, all that pivoting. And then the arms with this little butterfly joint go all the way up. Do like a Y pose, and you can do that rotation. You can do that all the way around motion. You can do that double joint, which goes in about that far, which isn't too bad. It's actually really good. And then you have this little ball wrist joint right here that lets you rotate and swivel and hinge and do all the wrist ball things. And then you also have this ball joint at the top and bottom of the torso, and that makes you go all the way back, about this far back. It makes you go about this far forward, with both of those moving in conjunction. And then what I'm going to say is you guys have to be really careful with this figure. Well, not really careful, but kind of careful. Kind of pay attention to what you're doing, because I do have some scuffs at the top of the abdomen right here because I wasn't paying attention when I was doing all that swivel action, because the top of this will scrape up against that abdomen and it will it'll start shredding your figure. So you just got to be aware of that. So I try to pay attention now when I do that, because the same thing happened to my Hush Batman. And then got these drop down hinges for the legs, so that way you can kick up about this far, and you can kick outward about this far, which not perfect splits, but it's alright. You can still do some side kicking and stuff like that. It's still really cool. And then you've got that double hinge right there, and then you have that swivel right here at the ankle, and you go up and down. And that's all the articulation, all the accessories. And I will get into size comparisons in just a minute, but I will just say, this is probably one of my favorite Batman figures of all time right now. Currently. I haven't gotten the amazing Yamaguchi Arkham Knight. That guy is coming out in October, I think. I still have time to pre-order him. I might get that one. He looks super sick in Arkham Knight. And the Arkham franchise is probably one of my favorite gaming franchises, so that'll probably be one of my favorite Batman figures as soon as I get it. I think he comes with the line launcher and cool shit like that. But other than that, I'm going to get into the size comparisons, and I'll show the photos at the end, and then I'll get up out of here. But this guy is peak, and I can't wait for them to ship the Bane, because I got some good photo ideas for this guy in Bane, but you know, it is the Knightfall aesthetic, so you get that. So I'll be right back. Now I thought I'd show them with a couple of classic Marvel characters before I got into some DC stuff. So here is the black suit Spider-Man and the brown costume Wolverine from Mafex. And I thought these all would look kind of cool together, because they're all kind of from the same time period in terms of like accuracy, or in terms of just like iconic looks for the character. And I think these guys look incredible together. And here he is with Hush Nightwing and Hush Batman. Like I said, like these two are pretty in scale with each other. There's definitely some reuse there. And I wanted to put the Nightwing in there because I just wanted to see what he looked like with Nightwing. And I know it's not like accurate to the time, but I think they look cool together. I think they'd look great in photos together too. So there's those guys. This is another one I was excited about. I wanted to see how well these two scale together. And they scale pretty well, so you can do a world's finest type thing. You know, Batman, Superman, hanging out, being bros together. I think that's awesome. I got two more. And then here he is with the Dark Knight Returns, Carrie Kelly, and Batman Blue version 2-pack. And this one I really wanted to do just because it's like the similar suit aesthetic, and I just wanted to see how they look together. And I think it's still kind of funny. I'm just like, what if this guy got into even more stuff and just turned into this guy, just got huge, just got shredded. I thought that'd be fun to see. And then the Carrie Kelly, if you're good at customizing and making head sculpts, you could easily make this into a Dick Grayson or a Jason Todd and have him with this Batman. What I've seen people do is just cover Carrie's head with the cape and just do the cover from Death in the Family. And I think that's pretty cool. I was going to do some KGB stuff because I have the Mezco KGB, but then I was like, nah, I don't know if I have time for that. Anyway, this has been the review. Thank you guys, and watch all my other stuff, and I'll try to be more consistent in the future. Thank you.